Rolling?
Darling.
All right. So last time on 5th edition D&D, we had you guys um, do a little bit of preparing to investigate the desert lands of Alacor. Um, Upon teleporting using a magical teleportation stone from the ancient times, you traveled to a location that was supposed to be a safe teleport location. The only caveat to that is that you only teleport to a safe location. It doesn't mean something there might not stab you in the face, which you guys learned. You guys were ambushed by some creatures known as Tomb Guardians, which are basically beefed up and kind of elite skeletons of sorts with a few special abilities of their own. And then a large magical construct type beast known as a War Sphinx. Um, while you guys were attempting to fight them, there was a sandstorm kind of raging about, so you guys couldn't really see too well. And the beast ended up escaping to the northwest from your guys' current location, as far as you know. It ran that general direction, and after some chasing, some fruitless chasing, you guys ended up back in square one, and then the sandstorm subsided while you guys were basically here talking. So you guys have plenty of time to discuss anything amongst yourselves if you would like. Otherwise, you do know that your general destination lies to the southeast. So, from your current location.
And it went to the northwest when we saw it, but I mean,
Yeah, it was a very quick creature, so it could have literally just looped around you then ran away.
yeah.
Um, it was very agile for its size.
Is the sandstorm still around us?
Nope, it's gone. Presumably, this is about an hour later, unless you guys want to do something during the sandstorm.
Short rest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys could even take a long rest if you wanted to. Once the sandstorm is gone, you can see for miles and miles, and it's just nothing but sand. So, if you guys wanted to do a long rest, you absolutely could.
Do you guys need to? I'm pretty much fine.
Yeah, the fight wasn't terribly hard. It was more of just tedious.
Yeah.
I only cast one spell, so
I used 2 luck out of 18, so I'm alright.
I don't know. I got hit a couple of times, and it was pretty bad.
You want to do
you
a
just
short
take a
rest?
short rest and heal.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you heal on those? Because I don't think we've ever done one.
You roll hit dice.
Yep.
You can roll any number. It's your hit die plus your Constitution modifier for each one.
Okay.
And you can roll them one at a time if you want. So.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna cast bonfire and sit inside of it.
Nice.
You said hit die plus con?
Yep.
Okay, so I just need to roll
Arcane
3.
recovery. Spell.
Yeah.
So while Justin is doing that, do you guys have any questions? Damn it. Do you guys have any questions or anything for me before we fully begin playing? Just in case we missed something or someone's hazy on any details.
The details. I know we're trying to investigate the undead army. What is what's our? Do we have an objective to attack? Are we just investigating?
I'll bring you back over to the Olesia map just to kind of give you guys a quick rundown again. If you guys want to zoom in on the general desert region to the southeast a bit, Alacor, where the purple is. You guys came down here with the goal of investigating the invasion, between investigating the force of how they're able to expand so quickly, because in less than a year they've taken over, I mean, this is real scale, so they've managed to take thousands of miles of territory in a year. Less than a year. the general idea is you're trying to if I remember correctly, you guys are going to try and get at the very least near Alicor to make sure it hasn't been taken yet. But I don't know if that's actually your true goal. It was kind of a loose goal, from what I remember, of you guys just wanted to check out what's going on down here.
Well, they're one of those walk towards it and poke it and see what happens sort of thing.
Yeah, because the original estimation was that the undead army was going to stop at the desert line, which is like right here, basically. But they continued on past that, so
we're right here, correct?
Yep, you're right up in that mountain range. Yep. Yeah, so your concern is that if they don't slow down, if they keep expanding the way they are, how long before they truly just take over the continent if they're not stopped? So, I do believe that you mentioned that you wanted to try and get toward either the city of Alicor itself, or you were going to try and get over to this settlement that was presumably taken over in the east over here. I don't think it was fully discussed which one you guys wanted to do, but you guys teleported right there.
Yeah. I mean, I figure that anything that's going on here is probably going to be centered around the city that's being sieged. So.
Yep. And I believe that was what was discussed last time. I don't. You're unable to use any kind of scrying whatsoever in here, so it is literally just a walk at it and see what you can see kind of scenario. So it's kind of make it up as you go along, but I do believe the general goal is to try and get towards the city.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Can we see anything once the sandstorm clears? Like,
so you guys are
on
on
mountain peak.
It's actually more of a plateau where you're at, more than a peak necessarily. Like the entire mountain is very, very large. The location where this portal stone slab is at is actually on kind of a plateau that comes out almost like the Lion King kind of thing, where it's just like a big standout kind of area.
Pride Rock.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that like that, where it's just a big ass slab.
We just bought Simba.
You do know that, yeah. From past experiences and exploring, Kenna, you do know that to the southeast is a massive overlook that overlooks the entire desert, pretty much, where you'll be able to see for dozens, if not hundreds of miles, because of the way it's laid out, which between the sheer height of which you're at and the magical properties of the mountain you guys are actually on. This was designed as a scrying post, so you're hoping you can see further from the overlook.
Alright.
Which is why southeast is the direction to go.
Yeah, I mean, once we're finished resting and the storm clears, let's head over there and see if we can see what we can see.
Okay. So most of the plateau top here is kind of sand duney, so we're not talking like massive sand dunes in like the Sahara Desert or anything like that, but they're, a good 30 feet tall, so you are going up and down on hilly terrain frequently. It's not necessarily as difficult as like a sand dune, like a standard sand dune, because like the sand isn't like literally falling out from underneath you. It's pretty packed down up here because it's the wind doesn't really affect this area as much because it is a magically protected area for the stone. You guys travel about an hour or so just up and down the train, and you guys can see an encampment on the horizon. Let's bring you on over here. With just some general viewing from on top of like a sand dune, you see that over this direction. I don't know if can you guys see the ping in the black?
Yeah.
Yeah, in that general direction, you can see a settlement. There is a slight pathway that leads directly south from your location, that you kind of picked up where it looks like there's maybe some forces that moved from this general location, which based on you guys' last encounter could mean that there's maybe a military like force up here because of, you were ambushed by a military.
Is this like the edge of the plateau, or have we not gotten there yet?
You're not quite there yet, but it borders on it. So like several miles past this is where the overlook is.
All right.
Yeah, so you guys have been traveling kind of south, following like a little pathway. I'll uncover a little bit more area just that way you guys have a general idea. So you guys have been, just so you can see where the general path is. It's like that kind of where the two lines are down there. That's where the path officially gets
pathy.
Yeah, where it's like hard packed stone rather than, stone with a bunch of sand on top of it. So you can see a road kind of coming up. We'll wait for.
I'm back. Yep.
Okay, you're back?
Yep. Sorry, I just had to get up for a second.
Okay, that's fine. So you guys can, if you guys, I believe you can move yourself. So if you guys want to, do you guys want to travel as like a standard group? Because like you saw a settlement down that direction, do you just want to follow the path, or do you guys want to try and go over some of the sand? I guess I could just reveal most of this actually, like more of what you can see. I didn't really think about that for some reason. You guys can. He did that very poorly, so you're welcome.
You're right. Thanks.
These are like the dune ridge.
So pretty much where the dot starts, like the line, is where you basically can't see past. So anything past the line is pretty much blocked by line of sight.
I could have Solus go and turn invisible and fly over to scout it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think if it's a more undead, they will probably not be welcoming our presence. Might change our strategy in approaching.
Yeah.
I mean, we have an undead king with us. I'm not too worried.
Oh, I'm not worried, but those didn't particularly, or seem to be particularly inclined to obey Pierce.
True.
Likely.
To be fair, he never actually tried.
I suppose that's true.
No one's like, hey, Pierce, you should try and stop them.
Pierce isn't the brightest bunch.
I don't know what his abilities are.
Exactly.
Pierce barely knows what his abilities are.
Yeah, I'll have Solus turn invisible.
Okay. Are you able to share sight with him, or is it just...
I think if I'm within 100 feet of him, I can share sight. So I'll do that until he goes out of that range. I don't know if it's farther than that.
Yeah, I mean, if you flew generally
I fly
straight...
like up in the air.
Yeah, if you flew like diagonally up and stayed within range, like did that whole like, movie where it gets staticky for a second so you back up. I will reveal basically a general. So with that, there is some general sand kind of blowing around because there is, over in this area, there is more sand. I'm going to do two kind of swaths of sight here just so I don't screw it up. I don't want to reveal too much or too little. So there are hostile forces, but the most important thing that he's able to see is a friendly neighborhood
Spider-Man?
war sphinx.
Oh.
That's not friendly.
That didn't end the way I wanted it to. War Sphinx.
From your point of view, Kenna, it knows you're coming as it's like standing, staring at you, and it does look to be walking that general direction, but it's walking more in like a patrol fashion rather than like an attack stance.
So yeah, I'll.
And once it rounds this corner, and like you guys can see it through kind of like the sandy wind, and once it gets to about there, you can actually just see it, and it just kind of stops and stands.
Oh, they're there. Does it look damaged?
No, not at all.
Okay, so it might be a different Sphinx.
So it's not our friendly neighborhood one.
Well, it could have had a chance to be repaired in some way in the hour that we. For the couple of hours.
Did someone drop out of Discord?
Justin did.
Okay.
Rock falls, gets sucked into quicksand. Oh,
Rock
shit!
falls, everyone dies.
Yep. That's what would happen if Rock falls in battle.
I don't know if that's even possible, though. Or...
Well, hell would freeze over and we would all die.
I mean, several layers of hell is frozen.
Yeah, it's really an inaccurate analogy.
Mm-hmm. But entirely, if all the hells froze over.
Yeah, that could cause problems.
Yeah, that would be imbalanced.
It'd be cold.
Yeah. So, what do you make of that thing?
Well, it doesn't seem actively aggressive. We could try just walking up and seeing what it does, and if it attacks us, we'll
I would almost
try
assume
to destroy it again.
I would assume approaching would take that as aggressive. Maybe we try to go around.
Does it look like they're guarding anything here?
So basically the way that they look like they're standing in formation, like a military formation. So oops, that's the wrong thing. The ones that are like up top, basically here, they're all facing outwards towards the sand dunes. The ones in the corner are facing the general corner, and then the ones over on the left side are facing out left. The two that are standing right here are standing guarding an entrance to a walled settlement, it looks like.
Okay.
Same with this guy over here. Same general idea. They're standing in like a guard stance, basically, with spear on the ground, shield up.
Like a military encampment, or like a.
Yep, that's what it looks like. I mean, the little settlement is not a military encampment, but they definitely turned it into one, as far as you can tell. That's what it looks like. It looks like they probably took it over.
Seems to have claimed I'll relay all that information to everyone.
This used to be a friendly trading settlement that kind of worked alongside the mages of old, which is why they live up here as kind of not protectors of the portal area, but more of like a settlement. So somebody coming through the portal, if they came through the portal, they clearly know some of the old world magic.
Mm-hmm.
So they're considered to be friendly. So,
well, we could certainly go around it, but there might be some pertinent information here.
Yeah, I mean, like, the one thing that Kenna might particularly know of is that, like, realistically, if they took this over, they may have hostages and or...
oh, yeah. I guess that's a...
Yeah, they could potentially have hostages, because there should be friendlies here.
Hostages for...
So... let's see... I don't know where my phone went. So, there it is. I just want to see if...
It heard you.
Okay, yeah, I was literally, as I said that, Justin text.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
what are we thinking? Should we...
It'd
be pretty easy just to walk around it.
It would be. Do we have business here? Are we?
Well, we're here to gather information. This is a possible opportunity.
That's what I mean. Should we stop at all possible leads?
Perhaps the first one. I'm interested to see how these undead will react to us if they're going to be immediately violent again.
Yes, not a bad thing to determine. Well, Are you gonna go talk to the Sphinx, or should we all go?
Have Solus go and announce.
All right.
So this is gonna. Let's see.
Yeah, just gonna send Solus up there before Rock comes back.
We lost him in the dunes.
Solus is just gonna like fly around here, and like he's invisible, but he wants just to see if the Sphinx seems to notice him.
I can't remember if oh yeah. How close is he? Yeah. He's just watching Solus.
Okay.
Like a cat chasing a fly.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to make any kind of defensive motion. He's just standing idly, just kind of watching. Like you see his like head every now and then. Like I'm assuming Solus does all sorts of weird flight moves.
Yeah.
Like if Solus goes like really high or really low, he will like shift his head slightly to keep him in view.
Round in circles to make him dizzy.
Is he gonna fly up to it or is he gonna stay back?
After a little bit determining that, he will fly up to it, at which point he's out of my range, so he's operating on his own. But I'm going to... Kenna's going to ready an action to dismiss him if she gets any, like, bad vibes from the empathy link.
Okay. If you see him see Solus get disintegrated,
Yep, exactly.
so I will dismiss him.
From life.
As Solus approaches,
She's going to approach from above. Also,
yeah,
make sure to stay above it because the other one had like death gas that was on the ground.
Yeah. You guys are well within range to be able to hear its booming voice when it actually speaks. It speaks in a very hollow, golem-like voice, and it's like, "Oh, the little one comes forward."
Hello, I am Solus, eldest of the fairy dragons. Who are you?
I have no name.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Do you want a name?
Sure.
You will be named Gilbert.
Sounds like a powerful name.
Very. So,
Yeah.
Gilbert, who's your boss?
I am not permitted to answer questions about my lords. However, you and your friends are invited to come into our camp and meet with my master.
Oh, well, I'm sure they would love to do that. I'll relay the message.
Tell them that any hostile actions will be met with a swift death.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure that we can destroy your camp, but just saying.
Many have said that. None have succeeded.
Okay. Good for you, Gilbert. I'll be back in a minute with my friends.
So one thing, can you have Solus give me a perception check, actually?
Sure. No, really bad.
Exactly what I was expecting from
Yeah,
him.
that's an 8.
Nice. Gilbert's pretty. He's nice
Yeah.
and shiny. He's not... The other one looked kind of like it was a almost worn down sandstone-y color. This one looks like it's much more polished